Prejudice, right?
What?
For
Yes.
All right.
All right. New microphones up here, so I have to get used to this. Welcome again, everyone. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader, advertised on July 8th, 2021. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and posted on the municipal website and in the vestibule in the municipal building, informing the public of the time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, PL 1975. As a little reminder, as the sign states on the door as you enter tonight, in accordance with our state and the CDC, if you are not vaccinated, please wear a mask inside. And of course, if you'd like to wear a mask and you are vaccinated, that is your prerogative. That's perfectly okay. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariema.
Mayor Tedesco?
Here.
Councilman Benoit?
Here.
Councilman Graham?
Here.
Councilman Ince?
Here.
Councilman Carney?
Here.
Councilman Lazaro?
Here.
And Council President Blumenstock?
Here. Thank you, Ms. Ariema. Could you please call the roll of our staff and professionals with us this evening?
Yes, Mayor. Christina M. Ariema, Borough Administrator Clerk, present. Kyle M. Harris, Interim Borough Administrator. Catherine D. Cameron, Deputy Borough Clerk. Catherine D. Apollonia, Borough Attorney. And James H. Wright, Chief of Police.
Okay, we're going to get started tonight with a report from our borough attorney. Ms. Diapolino, do you have anything for us?
Good evening, Mayor. It's nice to be back in person.
That's for sure.
No report tonight, but I would just like to take this time to congratulate Ms. Ariema on her last meeting. She was one of the first municipal clerks, borough administrators I met when I started, and I've learned a lot from her, and I wish you nothing but the best in your retirement stage.
Very nice. Do any members of the council have anything for Ms. Diapolino? All right, then we'll move along to Ms. Ariema for your report tonight.
Mayor, right now, I don't have a report, but I will be giving.
Very nice. And our interim borough administrator, Kyle Harris, do you have any report for us this evening?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to be here in person tonight and finally have the opportunity to meet most of the council members and the public. Over the last 3+ weeks, Ms. Ariema has been an amazing resource. She has given me history lessons of the borough, as well as taught me the vast record system she has developed over the last 25 years. She's made certain that I am current with the ongoing projects in the borough, and the transition is going very smoothly. I feel that we will not skip a beat over the coming weeks. I am very thankful that Ms. Ariema has made her retirement plans known in advance to allow for a successful transition. On tonight's agenda, a number of the resolutions are typically only seen at a reorganization meeting. These resolutions are reassigning responsibilities and duties that Ms. Ariema has held to other employees in the borough, but appreciate the council's support for the following resolutions. Resolution 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 149, and 151. On to recreation. It was brought to my attention that there was a miscommunication between our payroll department and recreation department regarding the pay rates for our summer counselors at recreation summer camp. Counselors will be paid $11.10 per hour, as that was agreed upon at their time of hire. The correct pay will be reflected in the next paycheck, which will be August 6th, and it will include all the retro pay as well for the first few weeks of the summer camp. Sorry about any confusion this has caused our summer counselors. Lastly, I'd like to discuss the 2021 Union County Kids Recreation Trust Fund grant. I prepared a brief presentation to go over that. Give me 1 second here while I share the screen.
Fantastic. Getting good use out of this new TV. And while you're doing that, Mr. Harris, I just wanted to thank you for your time and diligence today. It was that recreation counselor pay issue was brought to my attention literally around 4:30 today, and I called you and we got right on it to make sure that that was resolved. And, you know, of course, I 100% believe, I think we all do, that if you're told a certain rate you'll be making in the beginning, that's the rate it needs to be. So unfortunately, this error happened, but it's being corrected. And I just want to say, as somebody who, a while ago went to summer rec here in Garwood, and council president loves when I bring that stuff out. But anyway, it's really quite the experience, and counselors really make it what it is. So I do appreciate all that they do, and I'm sorry for this inconvenience.
Thank you. So for the Kids Recreation Trust Fund grant, this is a grant available from Union County. It's a matching grant, dollar for dollar match. We've applied for it for many years. In 2017, it helped fund the Hartman Park playground equipment. 2018 was the Hartman Park water fountain and shading. In 2019, there was installation of netting to stop balls from leaving the field at the Garwood Sports and Recreation Complex. And last year, it was used to purchase field hockey goals and turf field maintenance, cleaning of the synthetic turf at the field. In 2019, we have a remaining balance of $22,900 that we can use towards a future improvement at the park. The Recreation Director, Ralph Bernardo, identified the following two projects at the Garwood Sports and Recreation Complex. That is a conversion of the bocce ball court to a shuffleboard court and installation of shading at the field in between the field house and the concession stand. So the shuffleboard conversion would take place on the bocce court. This is the existing condition of the bocce court. It's not used, and it's right next to where our summer camp takes place. So Ralph feels that this would be an ideal location for shuffleboard to have our campers be able to participate in that activity. And for shading the area in between the concession stand and the field house, you can see the red box drawn on the screen there. That would be the area that would be covered with the shading. The picture on the right shows roughly that location. They'd be able to move most of the tables under there, do their outdoor activities, but still be in the shade, so it's a little bit cooler while they're at camp. So we have two cost estimates at this time. The shuffleboard conversion is estimated to cost approximately $20,000, and the shading cost is $21,000. That would be the installation of an 18 by 28 canopy with the poles as well to hold it up. Currently, we have the 2019 remaining funds, and we would have to make an application for the 21, which would be due, I want to say August 30th. So we don't have to make a decision tonight, but I'd like on the next meeting to have a firm decision as to what project we want to apply for 2021. It's hard to turn these projects down. As I said, it's a matching grant. So we're doubling our money the second we receive the grant. So if we put in $10,000, we have a $20,000 project that will be shovel ready. So it's important that we apply for these grants. So I'd just like to turn it over to council if they have any, suggestions or direction they'd like to go with this.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation like that with pictures right to the point and everything. So I just want to ask for clarity's sake. So and we don't have to decide tonight, as you said, but basically due to the existing funds, we can select one project to be used with that. And then we select the second project to be applied for in the grant to Union County, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We have the money available right now for one of the two projects. So we could start that, probably in September or early October, have it in place. So get a little bit of a season out of it, this year, and then it would be there for all next year as well.
Okay.
And with the grant application, we should be able to get that in. The grant should be approved and the project should be completed by the start of next year's summer camp.
Okay, very good. Any questions from the council?
Yeah, I have one.
Councilman Lazar, you just have to hit the microphone there. And hold it.
Oh, hold it. Okay, that is new. So my question has to do with the shuffleboard. So does the cost estimate, does that include, just to convert the actual bocce court to a shuffleboard? Does that include shuffleboard equipment? Is that budgeted as part of the recreation as of right now, or is that information not clear to you as of this time?
Based on the estimate, I would say it's just the physical structure for the shuffleboard, not the shuffleboard equipment.
And the second part, that wouldn't be able to be installed this year anyway, so they would buy the shuffleboard equipment next year, presumably. Anybody else?
Works. Okay, there it is. Mayor, do you, would you like council to sort of come to a conclusion now, or would you like us to sit on it for the
Mhm.
next meeting? Mr. Harris said that we do have a little time. Is
Right.
it something you want us, I mean,
It's,
I have my thoughts, but
right, right. I mean, on one hand, it seems simple, but I still think that, giving the weighing of two options and the fact that I would like to entertain some public comment on this, if anybody in the audience wishes to address us on this topic, I would say we can make a decision at the next meeting. But if anybody has any questions now or thoughts that they'd really like to get out, feel free.
If I may, Mayor,
Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
the one thing I wanted to say, I think the shading is definitely something to move forward on as we go into the fall. I know that this year, one of the discussions was about shading, and I believe what Mr. Bernardo wound up doing, I think he went out and he bought a couple of canopy tents in order to create shade for the campers, because there's really not a lot of shade there. And that is something that's been, I don't want to say a complaint, but that has been an issue in past years, is that when the sun is beating down, it can get very hot out there. So I think moving forward with definitely with the shading is a good idea.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Benoit. And apologize if you saw everybody getting up and things, but we've corrected the volume issue, so you're no longer screaming at us. So very good. It's pretty cool, this setup, I have to say. Councilman Carney, I know you spearheaded it, and I know Kyle, you've done a lot of work on it. Our moderators, I've done a lot of work in our training and everything. Knock on wood, we're doing this quite well. Very nice. Impressive how technology can be when it works. All righty. Anybody else have anything on this? Or we'll just table that until the next meeting? Perfect. That sounds good. Is that all, Mr. Harris?
Yes, that's everything.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Chief, do you have a report for us tonight?
oh.
Eh,
You don't mind, right?
I mean,
Thank you, Mayor. I got two items that I didn't submit to Councilman Ince for a standing committee report. First one, if you live on the north side, Mayor, Councilman, people in the days, you most likely will be taking a long way home again tonight, because we are going to have the underpass closed for that gas main project. It might be another 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 nights, I should say, that the underpass will be closed for this work. But then next week, be prepared, we'll be closing the underpass during the daytime. We've been putting the word out, but I wanted to say it again. I'm going to say it as many times as I can. This is a project that's probably going to last another week to a week and a half, and it will be an inconvenience, but it's a gas project that they have to do. It's a gas main replacement that they're starting on North Ave, going down the underpass and coming down on South Ave, just past the Russo development. It's something that they've been scheduling for a while. It needs to be done, but it is going to be an inconvenience, and it will cause the closing of the underpass. Again, next week, it'll be during the daytime. Right now, it's at night between 8 o'clock and 5 a.m. And the second part of my report, I just want to say again to Ms. Ariema, thank you for all the years that you've been working here and working with me. Thank you especially for the past couple of years when I was chief. There was a lot of times I had to come down the hall to you, and you're always there and always very helpful, informative, and I really do want to say thank you. That's my report.
okay. Thank you, Chief. All right, I'm going to give my report now. So I have a number of items, no surprise there. So like everyone else, I have to say how absolutely terrific it feels to be back here in person. In fact, when I was going through my briefcase for tonight, I came across the March 12th, 2020 agenda with my markups. And just to think about that, it was, a world away in many regards. And so here we are. It's good to see everyone, really is. I've definitely missed coming into the chamber for these council meetings. And so in case you're not aware, right now we are live streaming our meetings to YouTube. And this is wonderful so that anyone at home can watch us live. And also it will be there on YouTube, so you can always go back to it. If you can't make it at our council meeting time, you can look at it later on. Over the past few years, we've been able to have, and we're very fortunate that we had volunteers live streaming our council meetings to Facebook, and they were able to make most meetings to their credit. And Councilman Carney was part of that duo. But I really do believe, and always have, that this really should be the responsibility of the local government. So I am happy to see this now falling under our purview as your governing body. Tonight's meeting, as folks have already talked about. I'm going to call it bittersweet, or maybe if you are Ms. Ariema, it's just sweet. Because tonight is, of course, her last council meeting of her esteemed 25-year career as our borough administrator and clerk. It has been more than a pleasure, but honestly a true honor to work with Ms. Ariema for the betterment of Garwood, and to be her last mayor is something that's very special to me, and I know it's special to her too. I have more to say and a little presentation to make, but I'm going to save that for the last part of the meeting later tonight. And in just a moment, well, not a moment exactly, Mayor Lombardo, but after the council comments, I'm going to ask you to come up because I know you have another engagement tonight, busy man. And I know you want to say a few words to Ms. Ariema as well. Okay. I do want to give a couple other updates. I want to remind everyone that our health department officials have been visiting homes door to door at random in Garwood in an effort to help answer questions and inform residents about the COVID vaccines. Additionally, our health department is conducting a free walk-in COVID vaccine clinic right here at Garwood Borough Hall. It will be July 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. On another note, a resident reached out to me about concerns regarding large holes in the road due to openings by a contractor who is building 2 new homes. It's at the corner of Willow and Maple. And that contractor needed to make utility line connections. So of course he had to dig up the street there. So I just want to thank our DPW superintendent for speaking to the contractor right away after I had relayed this concern from the resident. And they took care of this very recently, getting those holes filled in. The entire 600 block of Willow Avenue will be paved curb to curb by New Jersey American Water per an agreement we made with them about a year or so ago. So that's good news for all those that live on the 600 block of Willow. And I do certainly hope that that repaving curb to curb will happen in the coming months, and I will keep everyone updated as I have more information. I hope everyone is enjoying summertime, but we do realize, of course, that there have been some really hot days, and I'm sure there's more to come. So during periods of excessive heat, Garwood Borough Hall will be open for all residents as a cooling center. Anyone needing to cool off may come to Borough Hall and do so in these wonderful air-conditioned council chambers. But if anybody is coming to Borough Hall for this purpose, just please make sure you share that purpose with the dispatcher or officer at the police station. I also want to wish Councilman Lazaro a very happy birthday tonight. Do you want to disclose the number? It's a big one. The big 4-0. And lastly, I hope you will join me and former Mayor Charles Lombardo this Saturday, July 24th at 9 a.m. for our Mayor's Wellness Campaign 3K walk around the recreation complex. We hope to see you there. Okay. So Councilman Benoit, you are up first.
So just briefly, I just wanted to say thank you to Miss Ariema for her work and her dedication to the borough all these years. You know, obviously, I only got to work with you a short time, but it has been a pleasure. And I well miss you, and I'm looking forward to working with Mr. Harris. But thank you for everything that you've done, and also to Councilman Carney for working really hard to get this the video system set up. From my end, I can see the entire room. I can hear everybody. As long as the microphones are on, I can hear everybody clearly. This seems like a really good setup, and I just really want to say great job, Councilman Carney. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Benoit. Councilman Graham.
Can I hold it down?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to thank Councilman Carney for the great job he did, and obviously all the administrative staff, everyone that was involved. I'm sure there's others that aren't here tonight. They did a great job. I know it wasn't easy. There were a lot of twists and turns, so good job. This is really wonderful. What a difference. And I want to echo the sentiment of thanks and appreciation to Miss Ariema, who has the hardest name to pronounce. But everybody insists on doing it. But your professionalism, your commitment, your patience. As someone as a charter member of the GOM party, the Grumpy Old Man party, I know that there were times when you probably want to pull your hair out, but you were always very patient, very understanding, and really explained things very well. You went out of your way to do that. You took my calls whenever I made them, and that was often. So I really appreciated that. As someone who had a long career as a professional, it's gratifying. I know the challenges, the day-to-day stuff that really tries our times, and you held up. You were exemplary example for everyone here. So thank you, and have a great, happy retirement.
Thank you so much, Councilman. That's really nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Graham. Councilman Ince?
Mayor, I think I'm doing this correctly. I too would like to congratulate you, Ms. Ariema, on a tremendous career. You've always been a go-to person for all of us. And in my time here on council, I could always go to you with questions and you always had the answers. You were amazing. Your depth of knowledge is just, you have no peer. And I wish you well in your retirement. I hope you have many, many enjoyable years ahead.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ince. Councilman Carney?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. It's great to be back in person. Thank you, Councilman Benoit, Councilman Graham, for your kind words. It was really a team effort. A lot of the staff that you mentioned, and also the support of everyone up here as I pushed for this. I really do appreciate it. Also, I'm sure I'm echoing everyone else at this point and everyone who's going to speak after me, but Ms. Ariema, I just want to give you thanks for your many years of service to Garwood and our community. I'm honored to be your official last new member of the council ever. And it's actually odd. It's the first time I'm ever sitting here, and it's the last time you are. So as a fellow public employee, I wish that you collect many, many monthly checks. Enjoy your retirement, and really thank you for everything.
Thank you so much, Councilman.
Thank you. Councilman Lazaro?
Thank you, Mayor. So again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but obviously it's a really important celebration for you tonight. As someone who is very devoted to my own job, I know the kind of devotion that you have shown to this community, and 25 years is nothing to sneeze at. It's something to be really proud of, the amount of years that you put in and dedication, and knowing that Garwood is basically very reliant on you for so many hats, that you've been able to juggle those hats throughout those 25 years is just a credit to how amazing you've been able to perform this job. So I want to thank you for your guidance and for helping everyone in this town with any of their issues that needed to be addressed. And I wish you a really satisfying and fulfilling retirement. Go on lots of long hikes, enjoy the beautiful weather upstate New York, and I wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much, Councilman.
Council President Blumenstock?
Thank you. Well, Ms. Ariema, I know the best present I could give you would be a short meeting. So I will keep it very short and sweet and just say thank you. It was just a pleasure and an honor, not just working with you, but getting to know you. Your knowledge and expertise of Garwood it surpasses all of us here, and we could
Combined.
not have done this past 25 years without you. Garwood was certainly blessed to have you with
Thank
us.
you so much. So nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I do want to acknowledge that we have two past mayors here in the room, Charles Lombardo and Dennis McCarthy. We also have some former council people. See Rich McCormick there in the front row, Ann Tarantino, Carol Carney. And so I think the audience is really here to see you, Ms. Ariema. I'm just sensing that. So I do want to invite up Mayor Lombardo, since he has that other engagement tonight. He wanted to say some words, and they're welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, council people. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Charles Lombardo, 275 Fourth Avenue, Garwood, New Jersey. That's okay. This can be short. I mean, everybody was exemplary in your comments for Ms. Ariema, but Ms. Ariema, you have to remember one thing. Mr. McCarthy and myself hired you. So you better be careful.
remember.
We're watching you leave. So in all sincerity, myself, my family, and of course, the residents of Garwood wish you the best. And of all, Tony, to you also. You, as the council said you've always been there for us. We've had our moments and we all know that. But we're just happy that you're going to be healthy and safe in a new environment, and God bless you. If I may, Mayor?
Yes, you may. Sure.
Thank you so much. I do have a little comments that I'm going to make later, and it did include what I would refer to as the dream team, the team that hired me, Charles Zimbardo, Dennis McCarthy, and Michael Concoli. You guys met me when I was what I would consider a younger woman, much younger, and you took me in and you gave me a chance. I needed a job. You know my situation. And I feel like I owe a debt of gratitude to you and to Michael for giving me that opportunity and for the rewards this career has brought me. You both were great mayors, great councilmen, did a lot of great things for our town. And it is endearing in my heart, and you both and Michael. Well, yeah, I talk about you all the time. There isn't anybody that I meet that I don't mention the dream team. So I thank you so much for everything all these years and all the kindness, acknowledgments, promotions, the raises, and for being here on my last meeting. Thank you.
Very sweet. Thank you, Mayor. Have a good night. If there is anybody else that wishes to speak towards Ms. Ariema at this moment because you need to leave later, you may. Otherwise, I'll just ask that you save your comments for the public comment portion of the meeting. All right, they're sticking it out. All right, fantastic. Okay, here's the last minutes for you, Ms. Ariema. Ms. Ariema, could you please read us the minutes?
Yes, Mayor. Minutes of the regular meeting of the mayor and council held on July 8th, 2021.
Could I have a motion to adopt the minutes as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll move along to council standing committee reports and other reports, beginning with police. Councilman Ince.
Yes,
don't-
Mayor,
did I miss a
for
page?
today, please join,
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman. I don't have the communications. I thought we didn't have any, to be honest. Oh, I'm missing pages. Oh, wait, yeah, that's. Rocky a lot, and I thought it was on purpose, so I'm not gonna think it's on purpose towards me. It wasn't on purpose, anybody. Anyway, so communications, please, Ms. Ariema.
Yes, Mayor. New Jersey State League of Municipalities,
Received and filed,
Town of Westfield Ordinance,
received and filed,
Roray Valley Sewage Authority minutes,
received and filed,
and Township of Cranford ordinances.
received and filed.
And I just want to interject that, so we have new staff, we're back in person, and like everybody needs a minute to adjust, and so do we. So, this is just a little copy machine error, and it's happened to all of us. There's Kathleen in the back ahead. Wave, Kathleen, how many times have we missed pages? So it happens, and
We are human.
it's not the worst thing that can happen.
Mhm. All right, we have an ordinance on tonight's agenda for adoption. Ms. Ariema, could you please read ordinance 21-13 by title only?
So how would I know that you would all make me say that word at my last meeting? That word that I can't say?
Preferential.
I've been practicing
Mm-hmm.
all day. I'll read that ordinance now, Mayor. An ordinance to amend Article 1, Traffic and Parking, and Article 14, Residential, forget it. Permit
Preferential.
Parking in Chapter 21, Vehicles and Traffic regarding residential preferential permit, whatever. Parking on Myrtle Avenue. You all did this make to laugh at me.
It's just amazing tonight, just has that
Yes.
feeling of too many coincidences.
Last council meeting, Kathy had to do it, and she said, I can't say that word. I'm like, good. Good. Parking on Myrtle Avenue and Spruce Avenue near the Garwood Sports and Recreation Complex. And thank you, Mr. Renaud, for making up that word and putting it in these ordinances. I appreciate it.
Have we received any correspondence concerning this ordinance?
None, Mayor.
Okay. Does anyone present wish to be heard concerning ordinance 21-13? It's so nice to have that opportunity to see people go to the microphone. All right. Hearing none, could I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 21-13?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 21-13? Any discussion from the council? Okay, roll call, please, Ms. Ariema.
Councilman Benoit,
Aye.
Councilman Graham, Councilman Ince,
Aye.
Councilman Carney,
Aye.
Councilman Lazaro,
Aye.
and Council President Blumenstock.
Aye.
Okay, now Councilman Ince is up for the police report.
All right, here we go. Please join the Garwood Police Department for a fun-packed day of activity for the whole family to enjoy. There is no fee and no age restrictions. Everyone is welcome to come and meet the officers of the GPD on Saturday, August the 14th, 2021, between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the Garwood Athletic Complex. We hope to see you there. Also, the flashing pedestrian beacons purchased in the spring are scheduled to be installed within the next 2 weeks. The beacons are part of the overall commitment from the borough to improve safety for pedestrians and motorists alike.
Thank you, Councilman Ince. Two fantastic things to report on. Very much looking forward to that event on the 14th, and also even more ecstatic to hear about the pedestrian flashing beacons going to be installed in the next couple of weeks. So patience is a virtue, but anyway, can't wait till they're in. Streets and Roads Ecology Council President Blumenstock.
Thank you, Mayor. In addition to regular garbage pickup, as well as the regular sanitizing schedule of Garwood's parks and benches, the DPW continued the annual scheduled sweeping program on the north and south sides of the borough. They put up and took down the no parking signs accordingly, and they also performed nighttime street sweeping operations along Center Street within the business district and in between North and South Avenues and along Walnut Street. The department continued to weed the mulch beds and prune, trim, and elevate all of the shrubs at the municipal complex, Hartman Park, and Kennedy Plaza. They also pruned, trimmed, and elevated shade trees within the 200 and 600 blocks of Willow Avenue. There were pothole repairs performed at the following locations: the intersection of West Street and Myrtle, the intersections of Gallows Hill and 2nd and 3rd Avenues, the intersections of Maple and North, the intersections of Maple and Myrtle, Lexington Avenue, the intersection of Center Street and Hazel Avenue, and the 400 block of Myrtle. 2 tons of hot mix asphalt were used for the repairs. And that's all for my report, Mayor. It was pothole time.
Thank you, Council President. Fire, Councilman Graham.
Thank you, Mayor. The Fire Committee hereby approves the membership application for Timothy A. Digney. Tim is the latest member from our junior firefighter program to advance to the full department. He has passed his physical and background requirements and will be added to the active roster under the usual 1-year probationary period. That's all for my report.
Thank you, Councilman Graham. Finance, Councilman Lazaro.
No report, but Tim Digney was a former student of mine, so it's nice to hear that he's serving Garwood. So thank you.
Very good. Buildings and Grounds, Councilman Carney.
Thank you, Mayor. I've received the quarterly inspection reports from the DPW for Hartman Park and the rec complex. It appears everything is up to the standard in both locations. Regarding the clock repair, the vendor advises a few needed parts are still on a production delay. They are unable to start the work until those parts arrive. We're keeping a check on that situation, and I'll update once we have a date firmed up for the work. We're still working on the Willow Avenue resident request regarding fencing along the property line of the municipal parking lot on the corner of Center Street. We received a follow-up report from Mr. Harris, who has information from the resident regarding what style of fence they will be using. The DPW superintendent will now get quotes for both vinyl and wood fence options, and then we'll discuss it further in committee to make a recommendation to the full council. We are also still awaiting quotes for the window repair at the DPW building. I realize this has been taking a while. However, every contractor that's been contacted by the borough staff has been booked up with work. So our goal is to have this repair completed before the winter. So fingers crossed, someone finds time in their schedule and is also reasonably priced. That's all for my report.
Thank you, Councilman Carney. Laws and Licenses, Councilman Benoit.
Nothing tonight, Mayor, but there are 2 issues we're working on that will be opened up for discussion during comment period at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Do you have anything from the Recreation Committee?
Nothing new to report. The summer program is moving along. Our rec director is working on the fall programming, so hopefully soon I'll have an update as to what we can look forward to for the fall.
Fantastic. Thank you. Garwood Senior Citizen Liaison, Council President Blumenstock.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Library Mayor's Representative, Councilman Lazaro.
Thank you, Mayor. The Garwood Library is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 4, and Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 7. The library will be closed on Saturdays in the rest of July and August. 10 people are permitted in the library at a time for 1 hour. 2 public computers are available, and staff can assist with any photocopies. Curbside service is still also available. A few events that I wanted to highlight include tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. There's a summer dance party. This program is brought to you by the library in collaboration with Garwood Summer Recreation. The event will take place during summer recreation, so you must be registered for Summer Rec to attend. On July 26th at 2 p.m., there's a virtual kids craft. Pick up your craft supplies for a summer reading farm animal craft and follow the Facebook tutorial at 2 p.m. Registration is required for craft kits and is limited to 15 participants. Sign on to the library's website, events, calendar, or by phone. Kids Craft will take place once a week in July. On July 29th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's an activity called Create a Cuddly Farm Animal. You can join the library for a story time and animal stuffing. Pick up your cow or pig by 1 p.m., then join the library director on the library Facebook page to enjoy a virtual story and stuff your farm animal together. Registration is required, limit of 20. On July 30th at 3 p.m. is the last day to log in your summer reading minutes. And finally, on August 3rd at 1 p.m., there's a summer reading party. Join the library for the end of the summer reading party with the Scream ice cream truck, prizes, and a petting zoo. Registration is required. There's a limit of 40, and you must have participated in a summer reading to attend. That's all for my report.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Lazaro. School Board Liaison, Councilman Carney.
In the interest of giving Miss Ariema her short meeting, no report.
Oh, very good. No better reason. Celebration of Public Events and Holidays Liaison, Councilman Benoit.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Historical Committee, Councilman Graham.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. We have a little streak going. Communications Committee, Councilman Carney.
I'm going to have to. end the
Yeah, we
streak,
knew that
sorry.
would happen.
I'm pleased to welcome our 2 new public moderators to the meeting tonight, which is hopefully being seen and heard as I speak over the new YouTube live stream. Going forward, there will be 1 moderator working each public meeting of this governing body and also the planning board to manage the live stream and at some point, hopefully the virtual interface that Councilman Benoit is so kindly helping us test out this evening. I also want to thank Mayor Tedisco, the rest of the council, Ms. Ariema, Mr. Wiecek, and Mr. Harris for all their support in getting this live stream off the ground. Due to a number of schedule conflicts since it's summer vacation season, the Small Business Advisory Board meeting originally scheduled for July 12th has been moved to August 16th. I'll have an update at our next meeting after that. And finally, I'd just like to make the public aware that the Union County Board of County Commissioners is launching a new emergency rental assistance program. This was put up on the borough's social media this morning, I think. This program provides for up to 12 months of assistance for unpaid back rent and utility bills. The funds will be awarded to landlords and utility providers on behalf of tenants who are eligible for the grant. Landlords and tenants are encouraged to register for this program together as it'll expedite the grant process. The registration portal for landlords will open on Monday, July 26th at ucnj.org/rental-assistance. The application portal for tenants will be at the same web address opening on Monday, August 2nd. That's all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Carney. And I know I've had many questions for you about this hybrid system, but one question just whispered to me. Is there a certain YouTube page name?
I'm going to have to, sorry, I need a minute. We need to have 100 subscribers to be able to put what YouTube calls a vanity name on the page. So there is a link available. I put it in the document, the public meeting guide. I think it's posted on, I know I posted it on my own Facebook page, but you need the direct link or you would have to search for Borough of Garwood YouTube. And you'll find the old one from what was called the Garwood Insight, and then we're right under it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Councilman Carney. We need to get those subscriber numbers up. We don't have any officers' reports tonight. I did want to acknowledge that we have two more former council people who just arrived a bit ago, Councilman Bill Neerstedt and Councilwoman Stephanie Bianco. Thank you for coming here for Ms. Ariema's last meeting. I presume that was the reason. Now it's time for public comment. So I'd like to ask if anyone in the audience wishes to address the mayor and council, please step up to the microphone and state your full name and address. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Also, we do have these microphone covers available right there by Ms. Cameron if anybody wishes to use them.
Johnny Pritchard, 410 Spruce Avenue, Garwood. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, it's been a year since this COVID-19 business had really fouled up our schedules, so to speak. It's my first time in a year. We need to back our servicemen, our soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and airmen. We're doing their duty to defend our nation. During the war in Vietnam, 3 men from Garwood lost their lives fighting for our country. 3 men. We failed to back them up. It's time we back them up every time, every day, all the way. In view of the fact that I may be going down to Washington, D.C. to visit the wall next month, here's a song I'll sing. They loved us so. Every day in 100 ways they told us so. In honesty, in affection, they told us so. They loved us so. Every day in 100 ways they showed us so. With loyalty and bravery, they showed us so. They were our defenders and they kept us free. They took an oath to guard us and fought for liberty. They loved us so. And we should know. For we loved them so. And also, we need to back our police officers and firefighters as they do their duties to the best of their ability in protecting us from crime and fire and all disasters. We can't afford to join that anti-fire department and anti-police crowd. Abolishing fire departments is not the answer. It's never be the answer. The same thing with abolishing police departments as well. We need to keep them both, and we need to strengthen them both. And also, we need to reactivate closed hospitals in New Jersey, such as Muhlenberg. We need to reactivate closed hospitals like Muhlenberg because we're talking about many people's lives. The sooner we reactivate Muhlenberg and many hospitals in New Jersey, the better off we all will be. Do I make myself clear?
Thank you, Mr. Pritchard. Good to see you again. Would anyone else like to address the mayor and council at this time? Mr. Barlick?
John Bartolick, 231 Hemlock Avenue. I wasn't going to speak tonight, but I had to jump in my car when I heard the first half of the meeting. I was curious if anybody can give, with any kind of precision, an estimate of how many shuffleboard games you'd have to play to get a good return on investment for $20,000 shuffleboard court. You know, I was a little skeptical about some of the expenditures on our recreation project a few years ago. And unfortunately, some of my concerns have come to fruition. I don't know that we have the critical mass. I don't know that Garwood residents of all ages have gotten the full benefit out of the facilities that we've done, but that's water under the bridge. Spending another $41,000 without a lot of consideration and looking at it in the broader picture, I think would be foolish. And a $20,000 conversion of one underused resource to another potentially, and I think probably underused resource, I think would be a waste of money. And I don't care which pocket it's coming out of. I don't want to hear, well, you know, the other part of the government's funding, you know, half of it, and we're only funding half of it. It's all our money. So I'm not a never spend on recreation guy. I'm not a never spend a dollar on civic improvements guy, but I want to make sure that we're spending money on things that we're going to get value from. And just for example, I don't know how much the old gazebo was used, a shaded area that you know, certainly people have missed. But I think rather than piecemeal spending $10,000, $20,000 from our local budget, $10,000, $20,000 from, you know, some matching funds or whatever, let's think about what we want to do with that facility over the next few years, and maybe do something that makes some sense. And frankly, I'm appalled. Only government can spend $20,000 on a shuffleboard court. And I'll just leave it at that. And I hope you you don't throw good money after bad. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bartolick. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the mayor and council?
Kim Salmon, 84th Ave. I'm just curious, what exactly was the error for the rec counselors? Why was their pay changed after it was agreed upon? And will their hours be adjusted if they receive a pay increase moving forward? Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Salmon. Okay, is there anyone else who wishes to address the mayor and council tonight? Okay, Mr. Patterson? No? Oh. Oh, I don't know if that was a gift, Ms. Ariema. I'm sorry. Great, now she's not gonna like me.
Bruce Patterson, 325 Willow Avenue. Thanks for inviting me up, by the way. No, and I'll say thank you to Tina later on, of course. I've known her for so long. But it was just that you also had a brand new format, you know, document handed out. If Councilman Carney could talk about it, because you spent some hours on this. The public probably doesn't even know about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. And I know Councilman Carney's mentioned that guide a couple of times now, at least. Are there any other members of the public who wish to address the mayor and council tonight? Hearing none, could I have a motion to close the public comment portion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, hearing none, let's take these step by step. Mr. Bartolick, thank you for coming on down and letting us know your opinion on that. That's, as I stated earlier, we definitely want to get public feedback, you know, before making a decision like that. Also, I just want to state on the matching grants that I totally agree with you. It's always important to keep in mind that it's our own money that Union County is giving back to us in the sense. So there have been years, not often, but a couple of years where we have actually not applied for that grant because we were unwilling to put up the Garwood portion of that money to match theirs. So we really like to do it for good projects. And even last year is a good example of that. We didn't apply at first, but then we were encouraged to apply for expenditures that we already had underway, such as the turf field maintenance and something else, that the field hockey goals that Mr. Harris mentioned earlier. So that is important. It's worth keeping in mind. Also, I think we are going to, I'd like us to look into with the shuffleboard, whether or not that could be utilized for Foursquare as well. Foursquare is a very popular game here in Garwood, maybe everywhere, but I just definitely know Garwood. So it's something we want to look into when putting in new pavement potentially. Mrs. Salmon, what exactly was the error? Mr. Harris said, you know, it was a miscommunication between the recreation department and the payroll department. The counselors need to get paid what they were told from the beginning. So that is being rectified. As far as the hours being adjusted, I'm not aware of that. Anything, Mr. Harris?
No, there will be no adjustment to the hours.
Oh.
They will be paid the rate that was agreed upon for all hours that they had worked.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. And let's see, Mr. Patterson, thank you for your comment about the meeting guide. And as I stated, Councilman Carney has mentioned that a couple of times. It's on the website if anyone would like to read that. Now it's time for the consent agenda. Are there any resolutions a member of the council wishes to have deleted tonight? No? Okay. Hearing none, could I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Ariema?
Councilman Benoit,
Aye.
Councilman Graham, Councilman Ince,
Aye.
Councilman Carney,
Aye.
Councilman Lazaro,
Aye.
and Council President Blumenstock.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any resolutions deleted from the consent agenda tonight?
None, Mayor.
None? Are we still having that executive session tonight or no? Okay, so we'll likely defer it to the next meeting? Okay, that sounds good to me, and I'm sure it sounds doubly good to you. All right.
A loaded question you asked me.
Okay, so new business. I would like to make my presentation to Ms. Ariema at this time. So let me see. Does anybody have anything else for new business first? Or we can go on with the show? Okay, perfect. Yes, we are. Okay, so Ms. Ariema, wow. Feels like yesterday, it was almost about 10 years ago that I joined the council. When we had our reconnection. But then also was about, I guess, 2.5 years ago now that we stood up here when I was being sworn in as mayor, and you said so many kind words and blew me away, and how we've been connected for such a long time. So I don't know which order to do this in. There's a lot we want to give you. But first, I will share how I feel. And I think you know how I feel, but I'm going to do the best I can with a couple of bullet points so I don't miss anything. So as I mentioned, tonight's meeting is definitely bittersweet. For me, it almost feels like a first meeting does, because I know that it's a special meeting and that it will be different, moving forward. But as you said, different isn't always bad, right? Different can be good, and we make the best of it. So 2.5 years ago when you swore me in, you said what an honor it was that I was the last mayor that you were swearing in. But I want to say that it's really such an honor for me to be the last mayor and to have spent this last 2.5 years with you. You told me when I took the job, you said, I'll work harder for you than ever. And you did. But I really don't think that was just because of me. It's because it's who you are, and that's what you do. You work hard, you're dedicated, you're always available. I could call you at 10 o'clock at night, on the weekends, when you're on vacation. You're always there for me, but not just me. It's really, you're always there for Garwood. It's not about us as individuals. It's about this community that not only do you work for, but you live in. And it's something that you've always remembered in your service of the borough, that you can go in someone else's shoes as a taxpayer, as a resident. And I think that's been really such a service, beautiful service to our community. So I know many of you in this room already know this story. Maybe some at home don't. But really, we've been connected for a long time because and believe it or not, her oldest daughter is the same age as me. Somehow that happened. So I went to school, of course, with Crystalina, and I know Katie, and that's how we first got to know each other. And most of all, as you be my Girl Scout leader, Girl Scout mom is really the name, and you're like a mom in that role. And I have to say that, and anybody that's done Scouts believes this, it really is important, I think, for young people to have that experience and to have, I was always a little jealous that other children had moms or dads that were class parents or troop leader. And my mom, she was busy being a single mom since I was 5 years old, so she couldn't do those things. She was a superwoman in her own way. But having you there, and just, you may not believe this, but the way I remember it is you were always happy. You always had a smile. You always had a plan. Everything was scheduled. Snack time, this time, that time. I don't remember you telling me go away, eat your cookies when I told you I wanted to be president. I should have just said council president and then I would have been correct a couple of times. So anyway, we had that connection there. And then, of course, we didn't see each other for about 10 years. But then when I got on the council, just like you do for everyone, and it's been dozens of elected officials that you've broken in, so to speak, but you meet with them, you give the rundown. It's very important and helpful. And it's something that will also be missed after all these years here. And I also wanted to say, and I hope this isn't too personal, but I feel that life for you, just like this job, has not always been easy. There have been bumps in the road, maybe to say the least, but I really, looking at you, feel that you took those lemons and you made lemonade. And that's what Garwood is. It's better off because of you and all that you've done for it. And I also want to say with Tony here that I know, knowing you both professionally and personally, that when you met Tony, it was like a light bulb went off, and it was such a turning point in your life in such a positive way. And to be able to celebrate you both at your wedding was such an honor, and it was such a fun wedding. We were just reminiscing about that a couple of weeks ago, and I know that the two of you are going to have an amazing time in Hope, New York. And I think it's so fitting that you're moving to a town called Hope because you have so much hope, and you have been hoping for this retirement, and it's here. So that's one. But also, not too many people, I think, after a 25-year career and all of that being basically the boss, right, would say to people, well, when I go, don't think it's going to be worse. It may actually be better. It may actually be better. How many people actually say that? But she did, because that's how humble you are and how also hopeful you are. So I love the fact that you're going to Hope, New York. And I, again, wish you life together, all the best in Hope, New York. Even though we'll miss you here in Garwood, you've really put us in a good place, and I know that we will be okay.
Well, all right. So I got to give a couple rebuttals. I tried to remember everything she said. First of all, she doesn't know I tell every mayor. And so I have a couple things to say. I know you have it, but I read it already. So
Read for everybody else
yeah,
later.
but I just want to say a couple things. Well, first of all, is my elected officials, my mayors, and my council. I want to acknowledge and thank all of them, past and present. But specifically you, Sarah. So when you first came back from college and started talking, you said you're going to run for council. Are you nuts? What are you going to do that for?
22 years old.
Yeah. So, but you there you were, and I was excited and embraced it. And the woman has become so remarkable to me. Amazing mayor, you're an amazing teacher, you're an amazing woman, person. You grew up to be this phenomenal person from that little girl with her hair past her butt in the classroom. It feels like it was yesterday that first encounter with you. I see it. And working with you this last 10 plus years, however long it's been amazing for me. To watch you grow, to watch you become the mayor and lead this town. It's just really amazing. And I appreciate that I got to share that with you.
Very Garwood that it would come full circle like that.
Well, yes. So, I want to acknowledge and thank my colleagues, especially the ones that have been on this journey with me for a very long time. Kathleen Wasinski is definitely the longest, and she and I have been together for a very, very long time. We've done amazing things here. There was time when me and her were the only employees in that office. We held it up. And so she has been a dear friend to me and an amazing coworker. Sandy, too, has known me so many years, and her knowledge, and that she loves math. We just work so well together. I hate math. And she's my numbers girl. And I rely on both these women tremendously. Clint Dixon, who's not here, of course, I'll take care of him tomorrow. Met him when he was 28 years old, amazing person, and been aligned with me for so many years. She's right. Well, we go way back, and his mom and his entire family is dear to me. And Lenny, too, who's not here, Lenny Navarro, our deputy foreman. I can't remember everybody and name everybody. It's just too many. this town relies on everybody. You know, I've been the borough administrator, the leader, but the staff here is amazing. They care. They care about the people. They care about the town. They care about their jobs, and they do amazing work. They're loyal. They're dedicated, and I couldn't have a better team of people for the past 25 years. There's two special people that I wanted to acknowledge tonight, and surprisingly, one of them is here. I didn't know that they were going to be here, and one of them is not with us anymore. And those two people are Mrs. Doris Polidor. She held my position before me, and Mr. Bob Renan. Surprised me, and he's here. These two people were instrumental in my career. I spent 3 years with Mrs. Polidor in that office, that same office. She taught me many, many things in those 3 years. The history that she taught me. She would sit and tell me stories, and that's how come I know all these things from Mrs. Polidor. And Mr. Renan, I have to say that I don't even have to go to law school. I don't even have to take the exam because of you. You taught me everything I know about this job. And you would call me and teach me and talk to me and explain things to me. And I have been able to share that knowledge with all my colleagues. And even you're here tonight, surprisingly, but he already knows you because I've been talking about you. She already knows you because I've been talking about you. I talk about you all the time. You have taught me so many things in this town. It's so blessed that you have served for so many years. So, and thank you for being here. My teacher and my mentor. I want to wish best wishes to my successors, Kyle and Kathy. I definitely leave you guys in really good hands. These guys are really ambitious, and I said better. When did I ever do a screen presentation? Okay, let's get the first night the guy comes out. Yeah. So I said maybe it's going to be better. He knows things that I don't know, and now we have two people doing one person's job. So you're going to get better service, and you're going to see more things that I just didn't have. I couldn't put myself. So I'm very proud of them. I'm very happy they're here. I wish you many, many years of success, and someday maybe I'll come back and see you retire. Not kidding. Not gonna make that. Lastly, I want to acknowledge my beautiful children and my grandson for their patience all these years when I had to work and I had to be out at night and I had to go to meetings and I had to do this and that. And my little Sean is not here. He's visiting his grandma. Otherwise, he'd be here too. But they've been so supportive of me. You know, I've been a single mom, raised these children, and I couldn't have been more blessed with these beautiful children. And mostly and last of all, my amazing husband. Now, I said I was going to cry, but when I look at him, you're everything I ever dreamed of in a partner. And I'm so excited to write this next chapter of our lives together that, you know, I'm just going to ask him, I'll just leave tomorrow instead of next week. I'm really, really blessed. And I wish you all the best, and God bless you all. There are a couple of things. And so this is a gift from the council and myself. Thank you so much. We really, and it's from us, but I know every council appreciates you. So I didn't think you'd really want a plaque. No. Because I mean, do you really want a plaque in your retirement home? I mean, you know I want that. I was hoping you would actually want this. Yes, I do. There's really no one more community spirit of Garwood than you. I mean, and in so many capacities, of course this one, but I just can't help but think of the Girl Scout leader volunteering her time, even when she was a single mom, and she was such a cool Girl Scout leader. She did a haunted house in her basement, and I wouldn't go in. I scared them good. Way too good. I can't go in there. But I thought you might like this. This, you know, hang somewhere. I've been admiring this since you gave them out a few times. I'm like, yes, and I've said to you, I have one. So thank you so much. I will hang this with pride, and it will remind me of my. Thank you so much. Here's the resolution. I mean, it's It's on the agenda, everybody can read it. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Did I cover all this? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, we wouldn't have paper big enough to write down all my accomplishments.
No,
We
we really
just kind of
don't.
summarize.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, thank you everyone for coming who came out tonight to acknowledge my career. I really appreciate it. And Barb will always be, I have a special place in my heart. I wish you all the best. You know, I'm just a phone call away, but if I don't answer, don't mind. I'll call you back. And I just think you're in good hands. Like, better people than me have left, and, you know, it's like, Tina who? Yeah, it will be like that. Yes, it will. I'm telling you, it will, and it's fine. It should be. That means I did a very good job. But that's when I leave, and it's already flawless. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna watch the YouTube.
Incredible job.
Yes, I'm sure.
An incredible job. And the way you mentioned Doris over your career keeps her memory alive, and that will happen with you.
Thank you, everybody.
I saw Mr. Jardim arrive. So that means we will have a very short executive session tonight. And I guess we should do it now and then come back for payment of claims, or do payment of claims first? Okay. So we'll do the payment of claims resolution. Ms. Ariema, could you please read that for us?
Yes, ma'am, for the last time, be it resolved that the following claims as approved be and the same are hereby ordered paid when properly signed and verified, and the payment of payrolls as listed is hereby confirmed and ratified.
Could I have a motion to adopt the payment of claims resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Ariema?
Councilman Benoit.
Aye.
Councilman Graham. Councilman Ince.
Aye.
Councilman Carney.
Aye.
Councilman Lazaro.
Aye.
And Council President Blumenstock.
I know you wanted a short meeting, but we had to give you one last executive session. So Ms. Ariema, could you please read that resolution for us?
Yes, Mayor. Closed session resolution authorize an executive session for the purpose of discussing litigation concerning the Garwood Sports and Recreation Complex, matters of attorney-client privilege relating to the above in accordance with NJSA 10-4, closed session, meetings open to the public, exclusion of public, subject of matter. Whereas it is necessary for the mayor and council of the Borough of Garwood to conduct an executive session closed to the public in order to discuss the above listed matter. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Borough of Garwood hereby move to go into executive session in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act for the purpose of discussing the subject stated above, and be it further resolved that the matters discussed in the minutes of the closed session shall be disclosed to the public when the reason for confidentiality no longer exists. No action will be taken. Gotcha.
that is adjourning tonight's meeting. So the regular meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Thursday, August 12th, 2021 at 7:15 PM. Information for the meetings is posted on the Borough website. And it's held here at, yeah. Oh, it wasn't on here. No problem. It will be held here in the council chambers. So nice to say that too. All right. Could I have a motion to adjourn Ms. Ariema's last meeting? All in favor? Opposed? Yeah. Okay. That's right. You'll be there almost 2 weeks at that point. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Well deserved. And thank you, everybody, for attending. Thanks to our moderators. Great job tonight. And I think that's it. That's a wrap.